It's September 30th, 2021. I'm Todd Dunn, and today I'm in the boat shed beginning boat work season here on my 1936 wooden powerboat Tortuga, which you can see behind me. And what I've been doing today is sounding the hull. The purpose of sounding the hull is to identify any spots where there is questionable or perhaps even rotted wood that needs to be replaced. So that's what I've been working on for the last couple of hours, and I have finished sounding the top sides from the waterline up. And I thought I'd show you exactly what the procedure is and also show you some of the spots that I have found. And there are 4 spots where I need to replace some wood, and I'll talk about that after I show you the sounding procedure. Now, the area where I found the most wood that needs to be replaced is right here around the 2 through holes where my bilge pumps discharge, which isn't surprising. Those are areas where the wood is probably going to stay wet quite frequently. But I'll use this area to demonstrate the procedure for sounding. Now, one of the things I do when I'm inspecting the hull after haul out to see if there's any wood that needs to be replaced is I look for spots where the paint might be a little dimpled. Like there are some paint dimples here around this through hull. So that becomes an area that I'm going to be a little bit suspicious of. So what's the procedure for sounding? Well, basically what the procedure is to tap the hull in a regular pattern. Usually some people use a plastic mallet. I use a screwdriver and tap it with the handle, which is hard plastic, because this provides me with a dual purpose tool. If I find a spot that doesn't sound right, I turn the screwdriver around and poke it with the blade of the screwdriver. If it's sound wood, I won't be able to poke into it, and if it isn't, I'll be able to make a little hole in the wood. So let's see what the procedure is like. Basically, I just work up and down the hull tapping. There's a truck going by right now. So the sounding procedure is pretty simple. I'm going to move the camera in a little bit so you can see and hear what I'm doing a little better. Okay, so basically what I do is just work up and down the hull, tapping the hull. Now listen to the sound the tapping makes. See, a nice sharp sound on this good wood here. Notice the sort of dead sound here. Quite a contrast in how it sounds. So if I'm tapping along and I hit a spot where there isn't bubbling in the paint, but I hear that, that makes me say, there might be a problem here. And I turn my screwdriver around and poke in, and lo and behold, I can indent that. If I do the same thing up here, I can't indent it. So this is now a suspicious area where I'm going to need to do some wood replacement, because clearly, as you can see, I've poked a bunch of holes here and worked my way up here. Wood is dead in here and along here. And I do that about every 2 inches up and down the hull. And I tap every 1.5 inches or so. And that way I can identify any spots where I have a problem in the wood. And I've done that, and I found right here, for example, I have a 26-inch long area where I need to replace the wood. Now, not all the wood in this 26-inch long area is bad. As a matter of fact, there is fine. There is fine, but I want to go a little past where the wood is bad. And in this case, I looked for plank joints, and there is a plank joint right here. There isn't one up here, but I was about 7 or 8 inches past any bad wood. So I know that I can get away with replacing from here to here. And I went down below here, and the same thing happened. Here, dead wood there. And so I know there's an area in here with dead wood. Fine there. Fine there. So I've got to replace a piece here. That's 11 inches long. And I have found 4 spots like that on the hull by sounding the entire hull from the water line up to the shear. And overall, I found 81¼ inches that I need to replace. And if I make an allowance for the way I'm going to replace it, which is to scarf new wood in. And let's take a look at something I drew on the hull here to illustrate that. I don't know if you can see that, but right here, I drew what the plank that I'm going to put in will look like looking down from the top. And basically, here is the 26-inch long piece that goes from here back to up there. And then I'm going to cut tapered ends in it where the length of this taper is 7 times the thickness of the plank. I'll do that on both ends. And I'll cut a matching taper into the good wood outside the area I'm replacing. And then when I put this piece of wood in, I will epoxy it along the surface of the taper, which is called a scarf, S-C-A-R-F. And I'll also screw it. And that will basically connect this piece of wood with the other end of the repair and make it essentially one continuous piece of wood, because these epoxy scarf joints are actually stronger than the wood itself. So I will get rid of any having a break in the plank here and a break in the plank at the other end. I'll end up with a continuous plank across the repair area. Now, I have 4 areas I've identified, so you'd think I'd need to do 8 scarves, but one of them runs up into the shear at an angle, so I won't be putting a scarf at one end of one repair, so I only have to do 7 scarves. This wood is 7/8 of an inch thick, so I will be going 7 inches past for my scarf on each end, and that will mean 49 inches to make up those 7 scarves. So I need to buy about 11 feet of new wood to do these repairs, which isn't bad. So basically what it boils down to is the wood to replace the bad wood here, 11 feet, it costs about $5 a lineal foot for the clear vertical grain Douglas fir that I use. I think that's what it cost last year, might be more now, but that's about what it costs. So let's say 60 bucks for wood to do this repair. And each one of these scarfed in planks will take me an afternoon. And once I put the new wood in, I will fair it in by longboard sanding it. And then this fall, because I will do these repairs this fall, I will put 3 coats of paint on the new wood and let it cure over the winter before I paint the entire top sides. So that's what I've been doing today. I've been sounding the hull. Took me about an hour to go all the way around the hull, tapping it about every 2 inches, all the way from the water line up to the shear. And as I said, I identified 4 spots where I need to replace some wood. So I've got 4 afternoons of work to finish this, plus a little bit more because the only wood I can get is 1 inch thick, and the planking on the boat is 7/8 of an inch thick. So I'm going to have to plane that wood down, which will take an extra couple of hours to plane the wood down to the right thickness. And then we will get going on the repairs, and I will show you the procedure as I do it. So my next step is going to be a wood shopping trip, now that I know how much planking stock I need to replace on the top sides. Now the boat came out of the water 2 days ago, so the bottom of the boat is still pretty wet. I'm going to let it dry out for a couple of weeks and maybe even a month, and then I will sound it below the water line to see if there are any spots I need to replace there. I don't think there will be. I have only ever found a couple spots that needed to be replaced in the last few years, because below the water line, the boat is in salt water, and salt water is a pretty good rot preventative. So I'm pretty sure that I won't have to replace any wood below the water line, particularly since I sounded the hull last spring, and Surveyor also sounded the hull last spring, and neither of us found anything that merited any replacement. So I think the hull is in pretty good shape below the water line. Now, I say that despite the fact that I also sounded the hull above the water line last year, but I think there are reasons why I have rot here, there, and the two other places. They're all associated with places where in the past I had deck leaks and water ran down the inside of the hull. And these are spots where the planking has rotted from the inside out. So I think what we're looking at is an artifact of deck leaks that I repaired about 7 years ago. And there was some rot inside the hull where you can't see it, and it is gradually surfacing. Now below the water line, the salt in the wood from being in salt water appears to have prevented any of those leaks from causing rot below the water line, because I have not found any. So anyway, that's what we're going to be doing this fall aboard Tortuga. I have a couple of other projects that I'll show you that I'll do when I'm not replacing wood. And I'll talk about those in a future video. So if you like this content, please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't already done so, why don't you consider subscribing to my channel and clicking that notification bell so you'll get a notification when my next boat work video comes up. Of course, it will be mixed in with some Acadia National Park videos as the tourists go away in the fall. So, thanks for watching.